What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. And man, oh man, do we have to talk about the first 35 minutes of Deadpool Wolverine that have been shown to other countries like Europe and Asia on this big, huge promotional tour that they're doing right now. But before we get into that, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 1K subs before the end of the year. I would greatly appreciate it. But guys, this film sounds absolutely incredible, and from hearing people are loving it. It got me so much more hyped to go see this film. I don't know if it was even possible. I've been this excited to go see a film since like No Way Home or Endgame. Like, it's one of those level type of films, and I'm really, really excited to actually be able to have an experience like that again, because it's been a minute. Marvel's been kind of slacking lately with this whole multiverse saga, if you want to call it that. That hasn't really touched much in the multiverse, but aside from a few things. But that's near say. I'm excited for this film. A lot of people have seen the first 35 minutes, but before we jump into it, guys, this is possible spoilers, so I don't know if any of this is true. People could be lying. We don't know. We'll find out in about 3 weeks if it's true or not. But if you want to go into this film knowing absolutely nothing about this film, I ain't mad at you. Go ahead and back out of the video. We'll be here after you see the film. But guys, this film sounds absolutely incredible. Apparently, the film opens up at the gravesite of Logan, and Deadpool's there killing TVA agents with antimanium bones that were in the grave, killing the agents and everything. And then he does the whole fourth wall break. And he's like, oh, let me catch you up to speed. And we go right back to the party that we see all in the trailers and everything. And that's how the film opens up. That's typical Deadpool. And I absolutely love that, because this entire time they're like, oh, we're not going to touch Logan. We're not going to touch Logan. And for the first, few moments of the film, they're messing with Logan. I think it's absolutely hilarious. And it's total Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. That's just total Ryan Reynolds. And I'm here for it. But apparently they're also going to introduce this new concept to the multiverse called anchor beings, meaning that there is a particular being in each universe that if they were to die, be placed out of the universe, whatever you may have it, that universe would slowly crumble and decay, which, it's kind of cool, but it also doesn't make a lot of sense, because what if that person was to die of natural causes? Does the universe just die because that person gets sick and dies? So I hope they kind of give more context in that. That's really what they're going with. It's a cool concept, but they have to elaborate more on that, because it really doesn't make any sense. But the whole thing with Wade being taken by the TVA, he's taken out of his timeline. They're showing him the screens of showing him what the sacred timeline is, and showing him the MCU, which is why you see him saluting Captain America and all that, which is hilarious, because in the comics, Deadpool's obsessed with Captain America, so that was a nice nod at that. But then he goes to tell them from hearing that your universe is dying. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. But we have this really new, awesome universe over here, a.k.a. the MCU, that needs saving, that we need your help with. And so when I heard that, I'm like, okay, that probably lines up with why at one point in the trailer his face is all beat up and stuff, because knowing Deadpool, most likely what he does is he's like, oh, no, screw that. He punches, Agent Paradox, and that's when he starts running from the TVA and goes on that hunt. And that's why you see him fighting TVA agents. And then that would also make sense to why he's potentially going on some Wolverine scavenger hunt, hopping through the Marvel universes, trying to find the perfect Wolverine to kind of help save his universe. I don't know if that means he's trying to replace the Logan that died with one in the multiverse. I don't even know if that would even fix it, but that's what sounds like what's going on. And then he's going to run into like a zombie variant, a short Hugh Jackman variant that's supposed to be like the normal size of Wolverine, like in the comics. This might be where we get to see that, potential rumor of Daniel Radcliffe playing a variant or Henry Cavill playing a variant. And my theory on that whole thing, if there really is a bunch of different actors, variants of Wolverine, I think this is a smart kind of, marketing ploy to see how the fans react to the different Wolverine variants. And this might be the group of guys that are in the film that they're leaning towards playing Wolverine, but they want to see how people are going to react to each one. And I think if that's the case, that's genius. I'm a Henry Cavill man. I know a lot of people are against that because he's too big or whatever, but I think Henry Cavill will absolutely kill it. But there's a lot of people that think he can do a great job. But that'd be really funny. And then another cool thing that apparently that they're going to touch on, and it's very brief, and they don't show an actual fight, but it's Wolverine and the Hulk together, and it's supposed to initiate that they're about to fight, or the fight's already taken place. Kind of place nods at that big epic fight that everybody wants to see, Wolverine versus Hulk. Which it's kind of, if that's the case, it's kind of a letdown. Because, come on, give us 5 minutes of Hugh Jackman and Mark Ruffalo going at it. Like, I know that's expensive with CGI, but, that would make the fans go absolutely nuts. Who knows? Maybe they touch back on it later on in the film, because, like I said, this is only the first 35 minutes. So all this that they're showing in the trailers is just in the first 35 minutes. We have a whole lot of this film. We have no idea what we're getting ourselves into. Personally, I love that, because I am one of the few who actually love Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, but they did drop the ball by showing too much spoilers with all the TV spots that they did. That was a little, disheartening. But there is a lot going on in this film. I'm very curious about Cassandra Nova's character, about how she ties in all this. For those who don't know, she's actually the evil twin sister of Charles Xavier, who kills her in the womb because he could sense that she's evil, not all there. And it's a whole deep, weird story. I definitely recommend checking it out. And so she hates mutants. She hates Charles. She's always on the hunt to kill the X-Men. Curious to how she, tamed Goliath, if she did at all, because we've seen Goliath from the Loki show, and that if that means she has had any interaction with He Who Remains or what. Another thing is, how is the sacred timeline a thing if the events of Loki season 2 happen, where he gave everybody free will and he's holding the multiverse together? So there technically isn't a sacred, unless I'm hearing wrong. I understand that the sacred timeline is no longer a thing. It's now a chaotic multiverse. He gives everybody free will. So maybe this takes place before the events of Loki, or I don't know. It'd be cool if we got to see a Loki cameo. That would make a lot of sense to me. If Loki's not in this film, I'm going to be upset because he's one of my favorites. And, Loki season 2, that finale is probably one of the best things Marvel has done. And it still gets me to this day. I get goosebumps every time I see it. It's such a great send off for Tom Hiddleston. He is coming back. But that's where I get kind of confused. So there's a lot more questions after hearing the first 35 minutes, but it's really, really cool from what I'm hearing that's actually in the film. Oh, and one other thing is, we're apparently going to see Lady Deadpool's in it. She has a long ponytail and has her mask on, but so they don't show who she is at this time of the film. But everybody thinks it's Blake Lively based off her voice. We don't know that for sure. But that's a lot in just the first 35 minutes. That's a lot to take in. And there's probably more I'm missing. Every day I feel like there's more and more news coming out of that first 35. So I don't know if they're showing different footage to different countries when they're on this tour or not. I don't know. But it seems like we're hearing more and more. I hope they don't go too crazy with it because, like I said, I like the idea of going into this not knowing pretty much what 75% of the film was about. I really, really like that. It's helping create the suspense and the hype, and I hope they kind of keep it that way. And I trust Ryan Reynolds and them that they know what they're doing. They're only showing particular things, and if this is what they're showing us, we probably have a lot in store for us. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this potential, first 35 minutes of the film. Does this stuff sound cool? Does this sound absolutely awful to you? It doesn't make sense to me if it does, but if it does, let me know down below. I definitely want to hear from you guys. I appreciate you guys taking time to check out this video. And again, remember, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys next time.